Astralis just lost against Pain, and you know what the worst part is about it? Well, there's two things. Firstly, the way they lost their map pick, which I will get into with some clips later. But secondly, the fact that I don't think anyone cares. No one seems to care that Astralis are losing to Pain. And I think this is a damning indictment on where this team is at right now. Because when FaZe lose, when Liquid lose, people look at these teams and there is more of an uproar about it. There are more opinions out there. Who needs to be changed? Whose fault is it? Who needs to be dropped? Because people still believe in those players and they still have faith that there are ways to turn it round. But with Astralis, they have just been in this sad, sad situation for long enough that I feel like people just don't want to look at them because it's just sad. Like, there's no hope. There's no belief. It's just sadness, right? By the way, still got the green screen up, still doing some casting. I feel like I should try and use the green screen for something. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to try my best. Okay, it's not looking great, but there we go. We've got a sad, sad device up in the background. And this is a picture where he's sad because he's second place against Na'Vi. This is the good old days. This is where Astralis should be, but they're not. I'll give him a kiss as well. There we go, Device. I don't know if I liked that. Actually, okay, I don't think he consented to that. I'm sorry, Device. That felt weird. I'm going to get rid of the whole green screen thing now. But I do love you, Device. I won't give you unconsensual kisses in the future. I'm sorry. If that doesn't deserve a subscribe to more Hawker, I don't know what does. Actually, it would be nice if you guys could subscribe. Let's get to 1K subs by the end of the month. Let's get that going. But let's talk about this team, okay? And again, like, here's one of the sad things when I look down this lineup. I look at them against Pain, right? And historically, like, they should be the experienced team here, Astralis. They should feel like the team that are so experienced at big events that they're able to, like, use that to their advantage, and they should have the better players. And I look down the lineup, and outside of maybe, like, Device, I feel like Pain just individually have, like, maybe better players. Or players, I think the way to put it is players that I have more faith in to come through with a round-winning moment. Right? And we'll get into this later in some of these clips. But the other thing I want to point out, right? Pain, okay, let's not say that they're just some, like, really bad team, because they are good. Like, and I will be giving credit to Pain in this video. Like, they are a good underdog team. I really like what Pain are doing. I really like Big Uzera. There's a lot to like about this team. And yeah, they did well at the major, right? And I'm not going to lie, I don't think this major run has aged that well. Like, fair play to them. They did a great job to get to the semi-final, where they got spanked by the Mongols, by the way. But they did well to get there, but look at these wins. Against Furia, that's the one legit win, but VP, 3D Max, and Nemiga, yeah, those are not great wins to make it to a major playoffs. And then off the back of that, it's not like they've been in steaming hot form. Losses against Limvision and 3D Max. This was the first tournament back, though. But then into IEM Cologne, losses against Liquid and actually Astralis. Right? Here, they actually played a close series against NIP before beating the Mongols. And then the only team... Oh, sorry. They lost against the Mongols. Let's not get that twisted. And then here, they're able to beat Heroic, but the win against Astralis, like 2-0? Come on, man. You're not winning your map pick against this team. And again, here's the thing I want to get into, right? It's the way that it happened that I think makes it so much worse. Because it genuinely looks like Astralis were the team that were like the inexperienced guys making mistakes under pressure, right? And I want to show you the stats to prove this, right? Clutches 1 on this Inferno, 4 for Pain, 0 for Astralis. I don't think those numbers are 100% right, because I'm pretty sure Astralis won a 1v1 by just defusing. But still, that tells you that Pain are feeling more comfortable in these close scenarios. Pain are feeling more comfortable under pressure. That should not be happening. For an organization like Astralis, you should have the experience advantage. You should be able to abuse that against Pain. And the other thing is Astralis, 18 opening kills to Pain's 12, and you lose 16-14. That means you're giving up man advantage rounds. And again, that is something you often see from these underdog teams who are coming into a tournament and they know how to start the round and they've got these exciting players. But then when the pressure gets to them in those really, like, intense moments, they just don't quite have it and they're not quite ready yet, right? That's the stats you see from these sorts of teams who don't quite have the experience and so don't fully know how to close out rounds in the mid and late round. It's not what we should see from Astralis, especially a Hooksy Astralis, who are looking to be a team who are really well drilled, and that's what Hooksy likes to do, right? It's just not what you want to see. And I think looking at Astralis. The weird thing is, you can't even be that mad at them because, like, Hooksy is doing a solid job compared to where Astralis were. Like, look at this history, right? You obviously have this great period from the past, but then big downtick. They were able to hit, like, 4th or around this period, which was okay. Able to hit, like, 6th somehow with this weird lineup with Borup in there. Okay, that was all right. Recently, though, 2024, like, with Device as an in-game leader, he got them up to 8th briefly around this time period. There they dropped off, and Hooksy has actually managed to take them back to a decent position. Like, you know, around, what, 11th in the world, like, at points here, 11th to 14th. Like, that's actually stabilized the team. But that's not what Astralis should be, right? That's not what we want them to be. And for Device's sake, that's not what I want them to be, because he's still pretty good. And you've just got to look at the maps played since Magisk has joined the lineup. Like, Device is great. Then you got some mediocre guys, including Hooksy, and then Magisk. And, like, the Magisk pickup is the weirdest and saddest one. And I think they just needed someone, right? I think that's clear. But when I look at this lineup, it just so desperately needs a star rifler. That's what it desperately needs, right? And I'm not saying Stown is the guy, by the way. Stown, I've been out on for quite a while. I just don't think he has it in the big moments. I don't think he is made to be a star rifler. I don't think he's made to be your guy. I think he could be like a supportive piece on a team, and his aim is one of like a star rifler, and maybe you could put him in more like supportive spots, and when he doesn't have all the spotlight on him, that could work. But Astralis need a rifler they can rely on to be their star, and they don't, right? They've got Device, who I think is still really good. They've got Yabi, who I think is solid. Stare, who I think is basically what you want as like your overqualified glue guy. But then you have Magisk, who I think he kind of needs to be the same as Stare for me in a lineup. Like, I think you can have Magisk if he's like your supportive player, and then you've got a pretty good in-game leader, and then you've got a great 3 in terms of like star players. You can't have him on this team, though. I don't think so, because I don't see what Magisk brings that other players don't. Like, you know, what does Magisk bring that Stare doesn't? I guess he's got experience, but like that isn't even really showing itself on the server anymore. I kind of back Stare to make better decisions. I think Stare's solid. I think Stare's good at what he does. And the unfortunate thing for Astralis is, where do you go with that, right? Where do you go with needing a star rifler? If you want to stay Danish, your options are like Blame F, which you've tried before and you didn't like. Bring back Stown, which, again, I just don't think he's the guy for the big moments. And he's also like, this is the way I would describe Stown. He is the player that, like, everyone tells you he's good, but you've never seen him have a good game, right? Like, when do you remember a really important Stown game that was great, right? And I'm slightly exaggerating there because he's had some good games in the past when he was with Cadian and, like, on Heroic and stuff. But, like, in the last few years, that is the exact player that Stown is, right? He's had, like, no big memorable games where I'm like, yes, you're the guy. You just carried that map. Like, no, that's not the case. Whereas for Pain, DGT, this guy's aim is sick. Like, he's better than any of these riflers on Astralis. I honestly think that. Like, he's really, really fun to watch. Big Uzera, fragging in-game leader, really cool. NQZ, I think, has slowly got better and better with the AWP. I think he's got, you know, the balls. I think he's good. Davideus, I think, can be okay. Like, his aim looks all right. Sometimes gets a little caught. Snow, I don't even think he's, like, that good. He's all right. He's fine. But, like, that's the thing. Like, Pain aren't exactly this unbeatable lineup, right? And we'll get into some of the ways it happened. By the way, I also want to show you, this is just the 7 maps since Magisk joined, right? And maybe we're being a bit harsh because Magisk has just joined this roster, but okay, I want you at home to put your hands up if you believe that Magisk joining Astralis is going to make them better and is going to make them compete for playoffs and trophies again, right? Put your hand up if you think that's the case. I'm looking around. No hands. No one's put their hand up. No one believes that. So, yeah, I may be jumping the gun, but I don't care because I don't think anyone believes in this. You look at the last 3 months, Yabi actually has been pretty good, and he's had to kind of become like a star on this team. Stare's all right. Hooksy's numbers actually better than I expected, but we'll get into why I don't necessarily think that matters too much because when you watch the game, I don't always think that shines through. And then Magisk, he's only had 7 maps. I mean, I don't know what he really brings here, unfortunately. It feels like he's just a body on the server, right? So we'll look at some of the ways it happened, okay? We'll start here. Round number 8. I think we might need to lower this volume. Let's do that.
And that was well before any lead was established, so pretty wild.
So NQZ's just established on Banana, right? And Hooksy as an in-game leader, I feel like he's meant to be this like intricate, making sure everything's looking good, like maximizing positions.
Scenes. NQZ.
I get you're trying to jump, peek, and like bait the AWP out, but like, I don't know, you have nades still, but okay, like fine.
The car position, easy pick onto Stair. Makes it look easy, but that was anything but as the jump peak was designed.
Is a nice shot from NQZ, by the way, who I think has slowly just got better and better. I quite like him as an AWPer.
To not let Stair die right in that situation.
And then like, this is what I mean with Hooksy, right? Like, what was the best outcome there? Like, it just looks weird because I know he's thrown 2 nades into top Banana. He's trying to get the AWPer away, right? But like, with Hooksy, I just feel like sometimes he gets in his own head that he knows he's a bad fragger and he just like almost doesn't value his life in a weird way. It's like he feels like he really needs to push NQZ off Banana there so they can go for the A play, which I understand. But like, you're swinging into top Banana, you know there's a chance the AWP is holding. It's like, your chance of success there feels very low to me, right? Just like very, very low. And of course, like that is not a good start to a round. And it's like, I almost wish Hooksy like almost believed in his ability a little more sometimes, because I'm like, I get that you wanted to get him off Banana, but like giving away your life like that is just, it can't be a good way to play CS, right? It can't. We also have, going into this one,
Margot for even the highlights of the
that was loud.
Are in there as well, so you can watch back everything.
And okay, like this is a really weird round, but firstly, when we're 9-2 down, the fact that the way we're getting back into the game is by Hooksy making kind of like a solo push up top mid into A-long to get the pick, that scares me. And again, it goes back to another thing that I think kind of doesn't work on this team is that Hooksy's wanting to make Inferno quite a key map for Astralis. Device is probably your best player. And as an AWPer, you're just inherently going to be quite limited on Inferno as a map. And you see that. Like here on T side, Device is 5 for 9. And I don't think it's really his fault. I just don't think he gets put in positions where he can do much. Right?
You can watch back rounds like this. Hooksy finally lighting up.
You get this Davideus. Kind of a nice play, actually. Sneaking behind.
It's a small light,
but the problem is, like, this was just clearly like a solo kind of like, well, duo mission from Hooksy moving in. But like everyone else is still so spread that it kind of opens up this window for Davideus to make this play and just catch Device out. And Device has to go through this with the AWP with no help.
More than Astralis have.
Like, you've literally given Device no chance to do anything there, but okay. By the way, the bomb's still back towards T-Spawn, which we'll get into later.
Oh.
And then, like, Hooksy ends up running back to Arch, and Big Uzer is here, and they're not ready for him. And again, there's, like, no trade. I guess the flash was coming, but it was just a little late.
No.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, don't talk about the Big Azera secondary sniper. The only time they've had to pull this one out the entire
And even here, Astralis get kills back. But of course, Davideus has just been able to go back down mid and then drop the bomb. And it's just like, okay, I know that this is like a round where you're 9-2 down, and I think Hooksy was just basically saying, fuck it, I'm going to do something. Fuck it, we ball. I'm going to try and make a play. And they actually go on to win this round, by the way. But still, like, I don't know. It doesn't exactly feel like repeatable ways of winning rounds, right? We'll go into this next one.
Position as a T-side player. I was peeking on sandbags, and I got sprayed.
It's just small things like this as well. Like, Stairs trying to flash Hooksy in, right? And this is not like a new player to the lineup thing, right? Like, Magisk is not involved in this play. All you need to know here is when this smoke is fading, roughly, someone needs to call. That's when Stair throws the flash and he tries to go for the play. Or, if you really want to, you could try and flash through the smoke, I guess. I'd just try and wait, like, roughly when it's fading, because that's when the Pain players will be looking at it. You could flash him in. He's got a chance to make a play, right?
Full sprayed.
Oh, the smoke's already faded. The flash hasn't been thrown.
From coffins. That was a bit.
And you're just dead. You're just dead, right? That's like the worst case scenario, right?
Horrendous.
And there's like so many rounds like that where Hooksy just ends up like dying so easily. And again, like that one's not necessarily his fault. It's hard to know if it's just like the comms were off. Maybe Stair threw the flash a little later than they wanted. But like little things like that, man. Little things like that. It's like, if you have Hooksy on the team and you have a team like this, you need to maximize these chances, because that's the other thing I want to say. I think Hooksy is a good in-game leader. I think he's been good for Astralis. I kind of wish I said that sooner because I think some people won't make it this far in the video and they won't realize I think that. I think he's doing well and is stabilizing this team. The problem is when you are fully Danish with this lineup and you have Magisk on the team as well, and Stair, who I don't think is like a massive fragger but is a competent player, it just doesn't work because Hooksy himself doesn't contribute much in terms of fragging, right? And we know this. And that's fine. That can work. You just have to supplement that with very good fraggers elsewhere. And that's fine because I think Hooksy's cooling like can be good. And I think on this team, it kind of makes sense. And on a Danish squad, it's like that's where he can be at his best. We'll go into this one.
Gaming.
Boost up.
Got the lineup apparently, but
Stair gets 2. Okay, 5 on 3. And this is where like the advantages start to go.
Chunk down.
No, but you see on over entire. It's a lot less likely. There are a couple.
Skip ahead. Nades coming in. 3v5. Pain just trying an exec. Trying what they can.
Corners that you can hide in, yes, but they will be checked. So
Device even gets a kill. Stair goes down to the molly. That's fine. This is a good position, right?
not as comfortable. Snow with the flames.
Right. This should be a 1 round, really. Like your 4v2. This is great. Okay.
Bit of a
12 seconds left. Hooksy goes through the smoke and like. This is what I mean by it. Sometimes I think he needs to value his own life a bit better. Or the team just needs to be on the same page, right? It's one or the two, right? If Hooksy wants to play a sacrificial role, that can work. But it has to be in conjunction with his teammates. And here it is not. He has gone through the smoke alone.
Snow with the flames.
And Device here with the AWP, he doesn't feel like he can peek off the back of it. He can't make the most of it.
Bit of a contradiction.
So you end up getting the worst of both worlds, right? It's so bad that I'm fumbling my words, right? It's annoying me that much. You're not getting the worst of both worlds where now they know exactly where Device is and he's got these 2 riflers running at him, right? Your 2 options here, the 2 options that Astralis can go for in this position. Either 1, Hooksy does decide to push through the smoke, but it happens with Device ready to either swing or maybe even Device swings first to draw their attention, something like that. They either have to do it together or Hooksy has to just say, sorry, Device, I'm leaving you, right? That's a second option and just play the retake. That's fine. 3v2 retake can work. Or 3, the third option is he could wait for them to actually be fighting Device and then push through and try and trade, right? Those are the 3 options that work. This is the one option that doesn't work.
Uh-oh.
Because now Device is here, like, just in a terrible position, right? With the AWP.
Device needs
And of course he dies.
No scope.
But Yabby wants to piece together where they aren't. And Magisk will be the first to fall. Yabby around the pillar, looking for that last little bit.
And of course they go on to lose the round. And it's rounds like that where it's like, if you want this team to work, you cannot lose rounds like that. And again, it goes back to what I was saying. I just get the feeling sometimes when I watch Hooksy that there's 2 things when I watch his gameplay. It's either that he's trying to be so sacrificial to help his teammates that it's almost like doing the opposite and it's not working. Or it's that he tries to make a play that's like so far ahead of the rest of his team that they can't actually make the most of it, right? And I think the most important thing that they need to be able to do is make sure that Hooksy can get help. Like, not help, but like his deaths need to be valuable, I guess is the way to put it, right? 12-12 round.
But the coverage is there. Looking solid from Astralis and Jabby, even after all those hindrances.
5 on 3. Okay, we're in a great position, right? I can't remember how we got here, but this is great.
You saw some frustration on his face, but similar to Nerds, he's able to challenge that and become better. So it's a blessing in disguise.
Device flashed off the angle. Okay. Smoke up into long, and Hooksy decides to make the solo play. And, like, again, you can make these plays sometimes, but...
See, again, pushing a smoke.
He goes in, he goes down, and, like, the thing you have to remember here is you've got Device on the site with the AWP. He could do with rifle assistance, right? You've got Magisk also playing long.
Hitting the shot, continues to hold the D key on his keyboard, slides over a bit too far.
And yeah, he gets like good information, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like a play could have been made like with the team, either forwards or just playing from the site. Because a 5-on-3 hold here, like towards A, or even if they go back towards B, where you probably have players pretty quick ready to rotate, like that feels like it should be pretty good.
How often have we seen Hooksy give up and free kill like that, trying to be aggressive? It hasn't been other members of Astralis doing the same thing. Still a very uphill battle for Pain Gaming in the round. 30 seconds remaining. Clock has been their enemy more times than not.
And then from here, what happens is, look, Magisk is now alone on A long. He's playing Cubby. He's playing a pretty committed position with no one on shore anywhere near ready to help him.
On Inferno, and Yabby not able to get...
Missed opportunity, goes down, and just like that, those two players have fallen. And this is actually now, like, quite a scary hold. A-Long is open. Device is AWPing on the site without really rifle support because Yabby's playing Pit.
Caught out. However, NQZ has found Magisk elsewhere. This does make it a bit harder to hold from Pit.
Look at Device position.
You have Device on the site.
Yabby gets one, gets traded, and now this is really awkward for Device.
And
He
he's
still
known.
gets a kill.
And yeah, okay, he doesn't get that kill.
Oh, just a tag. And Swa is being swarmed by 8.
Maybe a little unlucky. He goes down, but if he had like rifle support maybe from Long or like something different, maybe that could be different, but no.
Hey, Bullets, it's just 5 seconds left. Stare, he has the information on this, and he will swing through
And
this.
Stare again tries to be the soldier, but it's another round where I look at that and I say, like, that is Astralis looking like a team that are fumbling under the pressure, and Pain are doing the opposite, right? And then one more example. Okay, I saved the worst till last, by the way. I really did. I really did.
Slightly mistimes it. Okay.
5v4 advantage. Device knows they could be here. I think he's trying to flash Hooksy in. I know it's bad timing, but I feel like you can just hold this with the AWP, right?
There's coverage. No.
Instead, that happens.
Oh, no way. Oh, this is just...
And now they get into Arch.
Gonna have to fight
And now it's Hooksy alone having to
all
fight.
the luck in the world. DGT.
And now, just like that, the 5v4 is gone. And somehow, poor Stare has been left in this position where he's just going to be attacked from everywhere.
Gets Device with a nade out, and now it all falls onto Stare because he is between a...
And like, I don't know. Like, you can't lose rounds like that, man. You just can't. And obviously, this is a 4v2. Like, you ain't winning this. You ain't winning this. Just so many weird, like, silly mistakes, things like that. I don't know, man. It just feels like I don't see the upside for this team. And this is what I'll say. I honestly think, okay, I look at this Astralis lineup. I look at the Danish options. I think you just go international. Maybe you just do it. Like, Hooksy can call internationally. Everyone here can really, like, talk English. And you just need a star rifler, right? I'm sorry, Magisk. I don't think you're the guy. And I honestly think if you just had a really good rifler here, I actually think this team would be kind of good, right? As long as they cut out some of those silly mistakes, which I think they would. And, like, I look at players who are available right now, right? If I'm Astralis, right, and maybe this is crazy, but hear me out. I mean, Elige is available. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe that's crazy, but if Elige is available, I'm at least interested. You get Elige in here. You believe in him to be your star rifler. I mean, could it be worse? Could it be much worse when this team is desperately crying out for a star rifler? I don't know, man. Something to consider. Something to consider. I also think, okay, I want to talk about the Pain side. I just really like this team. I mean, we can quickly look at their stats last 3 months just to show you guys like who's generally performing well. NQZ on the AWP, like he's slowly become a really good AWPer. And I remember when I was first casting this guy, he was a little bit raw, but he was making plays, and I really liked that. And I think that has continued. Like, he's pretty confident as an AWPer, and he lands shots a pretty consistent amount of the time. Snow's actually stepped it up recently. DGT, I still think, just has very, very good aim. He's one of those players where his aim is really, really crisp. He has that headshot style aim. In this series, he was incredible. I think sometimes, like, he's not the most well-rounded player, and he's not always going to be able to outsmart players and get into his own really good fights, but it still works. Davides is pretty solid at what he does. And Big Uzera, just a good fragging in-game leader. Always has like these weird little rounds where he's playing all across the map, and he just brings like kind of a unique and weird style to Pain that makes them really annoying to play against at times. So like this loss in itself, like it's not as awful for Astralis as like you might think, but again, it's the community reaction. It's the fact that it feels like this is expected. It's the fact that it feels like this is just kind of sad and that they're just on this downward trajectory now because no one really believes in this roster move they've made. And it's also the fact that I really do think there's the potential here. Like, just one-star rifler, man. And I know that speaking in Danish is a big deal and it can be nice, but if everyone could speak English I think at some point the option has to be, let's just get a good rifler in from elsewhere, because I don't see the Danish option that saves this team. Anyway, that was a long one. If you guys made it to the end, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.